Guess what day it is? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's been a long 2 weeks, and we are so apologetic at the fact that we were not here, but damn it, we're here today. And of course, it's not Boob. I don't have my what's the host with me? Desirable Bottom, aka Desiree and Casey Carter. And of course,
hey.
Hi. Hey, ladies. That seems like forever since I've seen you.
I know. And you know what? In the moment, you're like, oh, okay, it's okay. I'll see them next week. And then when next week pops up, you're like, oh my God, I missed you.
I know. And Desiree's missing like 8 inches of hair. What happened?
Yeah, so I cut my hair off.
That's a lot.
How many inches did you cut off?
It's like more than 12 inches, actually.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I don't
pubic
know.
hair.
Like we didn't measure the exact lengths, but it's pretty long. So I'm donating it.
No, she's not donating it. That's all bullshit. What she's doing is she's turning it into a butt plug.
Yeah.
And we are going to auction it off on EXXXOTICA.tv.
For little kids without hair.
Anyway,
like one of those foxtails. I'll be part of the fox community or whatever. We can have like a horse tail or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. So I'm donating it to Wigs for Kids. They're a Canadian charity in St. Catharines, Ontario. And they said they need like 8 to 12 ponytails. So I mean, obviously they're not gonna get a whole wig from me. Yeah.
Right.
But they're gonna get a portion of my hair. I do that every year usually, so that's good.
Nice. That's
hair
nice,
grows that
Desiree. I
much?
like that.
Yeah.
What do you eat that makes your hair grow so damn fast?
That is youthful exuberance. That's what that is, Kari. You remember that.
No, it's been that long.
Listen, my hair is short like this because I don't have the time to wait to grow my hair like Desiree.
You see my hairstyle every week. It's the same.
But that's awesome, Desiree. Applause to you. Absolutely love that.
Applause to Desiree. So,
At least somebody's doing something good for the world.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we show up every week. This is good for the world.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong show. That's the big fuck you. That happens on Happy Hours.
Okay.
We tried to do it on here, but
oh yeah, we
We're
called
borrowing that.
Kari called that audible one time.
Anywho. Hey, okay. Kari, forgive me because I'm gonna jump in here. I want to ask. Raise your hand if you're watching clickbait.
Oh, I've seen it all. I love it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I've seen it all.
Don't say anything.
I literally I paused it to come up here and do this show.
Okay. See,
I just started it. I'm only on episode 1.
I haven't gotten past episode 2, but both my kids are like, oh my God, Mom, you gotta watch this. So yeah.
I was just gonna recommend it as well.
If we're talking about shows, has anybody seen C with Jason Momoa and Batista on Apple TV?
Okay, so that's on my list. That's on my list. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But girl,
I haven't seen it either.
Girl, okay. Jason Momoa, done and done. Thank you.
It is interesting. I'm into it. I've watched it. I just started watching it yesterday. As a matter of fact, I ordered Apple TV just to watch it. Yes, smash. I would definitely David Batista and Jason Momoa. Woo.
And do you know Jason Batista used to be involved with Jennifer Hudson?
No.
Or David
I
Batista.
didn't know that.
Yes.
David Batista was with Jennifer Hudson, a singer?
Yes, that's the one. Mm-hmm.
No, actually, she's the one that works at Wawa down in South Philly.
Anyway, I don't know what happened to the relationship, but yeah, that was a thing for a minute.
I thought she was with the other wrestler. I thought it was CM Punk, but it turns out it's some other guy. Like, hold on. We're gonna look up Jennifer Hudson's dating life. But yeah, I saw that. Wait a minute. But also, speaking of Jason Momoa, he has a new movie out called Sweet Girl. And I believe
that's
it's on Netflix.
Okay,
Yes,
so listen.
good.
This guy's good looking, right? Okay, like we found that. Name one thing that he's been in that's actually fucking good. Like name
Aquaman. I like
Come,
Aquaman.
come on,
Yeah,
no, seriously,
mentioned.
no. Like I
The two
said, good,
things that I just
Casey. I said
mentioned.
good.
Okay,
Like,
all right, fine.
not like
fine.
okay.
See, actually, okay, no. See,
Game
is
of Thrones,
actually pretty
or not?
good.
Yeah, Game of Thrones was like he was Drago.
He
right?
was there for a
Or
hot
whatever.
second. I don't count that.
That was the
What
only
about
thing
the
that.
Avengers? Was he in the Avengers one?
No.
Well, yeah, by being Aquaman, right? Or
Well,
was it?
But that was
Aqu-
DC.
Technically.
what-
Avengers
I don't-
is Marvel.
Not Avengers. What's the other
Marvel?
one where he shows
Yeah,
up?
Avengers is Marvel.
know.
Aquaman is DC Comics.
I can appreciate
Oh.
the good looks of the guy, but I need some
No,
substance.
like in all seriousness, Jay, like C on Apple TV is actually very
Good?
good. It's
Okay.
a very interesting story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, so basically what it is it's the future, many, years down the future, and we've due to a virus, a big chunk of our population, we're down to like 2 million people are left on the earth, and we don't have
Wouldn't that be
vision.
nice?
The virus knocked out our vision. And
Jeez,
so
seriously,
like
take
it's-
half of my
it's-
Facebook feed.
it's Earth as it is now, but like imagine, so it would be like old apartment buildings and cityscapes and all that kind of stuff, but run down, and now they're like back to kingdoms, and like it's super cool because it's like showing us life without vision, and like it's cool. Like I like it.
Wait,
And
they
it's
can't
not really,
see?
like,
Yeah. No.
no,
They're
there's
blind?
a few of them can,
And-
but most everybody in there
Yeah, I was gonna
cannot.
say, like,
They look for-
you don't ask too many questions because you don't want to give away too much.
Right.
But
I was afraid
yeah.
that you just thought it sounded ridiculous when you actually hear it back.
no,
And you know what I was thinking of?
no, because
What's
it
remember that
genuinely
show?
is a good story. It genuinely is a good story.
Okay.
Remember that show with the blindfold? What's her name played in? I was thinking of that one.
Bird Box.
Sandra Bullock,
Yep,
Bird
Bird
Box.
Now that was a weird movie.
Is it like
It was
that
good, though.
or no?
Yeah,
No.
it's a little
No.
different, but
It's just
good.
like that,
This is
except
it.
with Jason Momoa. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'll lay off the guy. He can kick my
You're
ass.
such a hater.
I know.
You're such a hater.
He's just too good looking. I hate that guy.
He's exceptionally good looking. He's
He's
weirdly
Monet.
good looking. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway.
So I did watch something
Jason
else.
Momoa, if you're listening, you're more than welcome to come on BoobTube.
There you go.
Come on, and bring your girl. Bring your girl.
Right.
We'll talk to her
Make this a
too.
family affair. Right.
Come on down.
but I-
You're the next
And
contestant.
and
Fine.
Denise, Lisa Bonet, if you gonna come, can you bring your ex-husband? Because I'll talk to him too.
Smash. We'll smash them all.
Family affair.
Anyway, okay, wait.
so
Somebody was saying that
I
they
was
were watching
saying-
something else.
I watched the documentary called Val with Val Kilmer, and Val Kilmer
Ooh.
has throat cancer, and so
Oh,
Right.
he's got the thing in his throat, and he apparently has been videotaping like since the beginning of his career and before. Like he's had a video camera and been filming all of this like behind the scenes. He's got behind the scenes of Top Gun, behind the scenes of some of the other stuff that he was in, but it is a very interesting documentary because it's all stuff that he's filmed, except for of course the more current stuff. They're following him, and like he's really heavy into art. Like he's into some weird shit, but anyways,
He's a weird dude.
it's a really good documentary.
You know what was
It was
crazy
very-
about it? His son was the one that voiced the whole thing. So like, did all
sounds
the
just like
did all
him.
the voiceovers and sounded exactly like him. Like it's so,
So,
weird. Oh man, it's crazy.
I had a Val Kilmer moment. My sister lived in Tribeca.
Did you
in
try and hit him with
Manhattan.
your car?
No,
Is that-
no.
Okay.
No. But
like Carrie, when I saw what's his face in downtown LA.
Denzel, no. But my
Denzel?
sister lived in.
No, I
My
almost
sister lived
hit
in.
24 guy. What's his name?
No, Denzel. It was Denzel Washington that you almost.
No, I
that
almost
you should have
actually
hit.
him.
Was
I just
actually what you
saw
said. Right.
24. What's his name? The
God,
Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, he was with him.
I want
and
to party
they
with
were
that guy.
actually-
He looks like a fun time.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry, Casey.
It's okay.
You should have hit him.
Anyway, my sister lived in
Newsworthy.
Tribeca in Manhattan, and the bodega around the corner from her apartment was where she would always go to, do a little quick shopping, grab some food, whatever. And so she and I had gone out partying, and on our way back to the apartment, we stopped at the bodega, and who was in the bodega? Val Kilmer.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was, like
and
this
it was
was like
interesting.
pre-tracheotomy or whatever.
Yes, it was
Okay.
because he had not because he you had that moment where he blew up from steroids and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So he still looked exactly like Val Kilmer to look. So it was it was interesting because we walked in and we were walking up and down, and if you've ever been to a bodega, it's a very interesting experience. You've got fresh produce, you've got like a long wall of all kinds of beverages and snacks and goodies and whatever. And we come around the hot food aisle, and there's this white dude. And I'm saying to my sister, God, dude looks familiar. She's like, it's Val Kilmer. I'm like, it's who? And she's like,
Isn't it funny how people do that shit? I love
yeah.
New
So
York.
that was pretty cool. I mean, because we were like, hey, how you doing? He was like, hi. And then that was it. Like everybody went their separate ways, but I couldn't not acknowledge dude. You know what I'm saying? So
So here's my one take on that. I loved the documentary, the Val Kilmer documentary, but I will say I use the term documentary very loosely because
Yeah.
the one thing I will say is, so that whole thing, it was more like an autobiography. It was produced by his film company, using his footage that he filmed over the years. And although it's very interesting to see kind of the insight to it, like they were talking about at one point, like how during Top Gun, Tom Cruise and Goose like stayed to themselves and didn't like hang out with like Iceman and the other crew. Like they were supposed to hate each other in the movie. Right, exactly. And he was a method actor and did the whole thing. But at points they were like, oh yeah, and we all heard, Val Kilmer was a hard actor to work with, throughout his career and how he's kind of crazy and whatever. And in the documentary, they're like, yeah, so, a few people said this, whatever. Anyways, moving on. So they just totally skim over pretty much like anything negative that you could possibly imagine. But it was the crazy thing was watching him now signing like at conventions and these like little fan fests and stuff. And it's wild because when you look at Val Kilmer, I mean, you look at his body of work, dude was Batman. The guy was in Tombstone. He was in, he literally Top Gun. He was an A-list celebrity. And now they show him like holding his hole in his throat, like signing autographs, looking like 3/4 of the way dead in the middle of a convention hall for like a bunch. It was really heartbreaking. But when you hear him talk about it, he's like, these are the people that made me, and I'm happy to do it, whatever. So he's an interesting dude. I mean, definitely.
He's been humbled.
Yeah, for sure. He's a different person now, I would guess, than he was 10 or 20 years ago, for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think it also, the interesting thing about this is that it shows how you can be at the top and then have everything pretty much taken away from you, and then you're back to struggling to just make it. And I think that's really what this was kind of like an example of how you can be an A-list actor and you can be in Batman and you can be in Top Gun and all these amazing films. And then at some point in your career and life, the reality of aging hits, the reality of cancer hits, the reality of not having any work because nobody wants to hire you because you can't talk list. Like you start putting all these things together, and reality is you don't get to be on top forever. So count your blessings while you have them. He is very close, like he's gotten closer to his family, and like he's very, he said that was one of his top priorities is to make sure that he's building a healthy relationship with his family. And I'm like, I like the message that it sent. Like, even though, yes, it didn't, I wasn't there for the gossip. I was there to watch the behind the scenes footage, which I thought was super interesting because I love Top
Yep.
Gun and I love Batman, and a lot of the stuff that he's been in, I'm a fan of. So it was cool to hear the stories that you don't always get to hear. So I was there for that. And I like to see a somewhat happy ending where, at least he's happy with his life, even though he's not out there, making millions
The
anymore.
Batman thing was interesting, where he was like, he's basically like, fucking Batman sucked. Like, you think it's going to be this badass, awesome, like, dude, I'm Batman, And he's like, then they put you in a suit that you can't move, you can't see your face, you can't do any of this shit. And they're like, okay,
Nobody
act.
knows it's you.
Okay, act, And it's like, and he was like, I'm next to Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey playing the Joker, and Harvey Keitel playing Two-Face or whatever his name is. He was like,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. Was playing Two-Face, and it was like, these guys have these vessels of like awesome acting roles to be able to like go out and play, and act. And here I am in a fucking latex suit, you know what I mean, covering 3/4 of my face, and like in 180 degree temperatures,
Yeah.
So yeah,
and nobody knows who you are.
Exactly.
Right.
They were like, you could have put anybody in that suit, and he was like, nobody would be none the wiser.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I could just take a second, I wanted to shout out to Toxic Goddess, who I this is the first time I see her commenting on the show. Hey girl, how you doing? But I was watching Desiree's conversation with Alex regarding the hurricane.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
Alex, glad to hear you're in one piece, man.
Yeah.
We're getting the tail end of it up in Philly now, but Jesus, what you got, what New Orleans got and coming up through is just crazy.
See, I spent 10 years in Florida. I lived through my fair share of hurricanes. Nothing to the extent that, New Orleans has ever experienced. But oh my God, the hurricane experience in and of itself can be quite terrifying. So, yeah. Be safe.
I lived in Florida
for sure.
20 years, so evacuating is definitely something I have experienced more times than I care to. Luckily for me, though, I'll be honest, I move so much that I tend to move like right before a natural disaster, like the big ones. Like I wasn't in Florida for any of the major ones, so I don't know if I just have like that keen luck that's like, oh, time to go.
Well, and of course, and it happened on the day 16 years ago of Katrina, which was crazy.
They still haven't recovered from.
I flew into Houston the day that Katrina hit, literally like 12 hours before it started coming through. And Jesus Christ, man, I was going to see a buddy in Austin, and we luckily got through and over to Austin, and then just hunkered down and rode it out. But it was great. It makes me appreciate living like New England or East Coast ish, northern East Coast.
More inland.
Yeah. I know. Well, every once in a while, I get the alerts that are like, oh, flooding in Philadelphia. I'm like, bitch, if this shit floods in Philadelphia, we're all fucked. Like, there's no reason for me to even get nervous.
But the trade off though, Jay, because having been born in the Northeast, and then having spent 10 years in Florida, I think in the Northeast, when you experience the hurricanes or hear about the hurricanes, you say to yourself, oh, well, I'm glad I live up here. I don't ever have to deal with hurricanes. Right. But then we get blizzards. Right. And so it's the other spectrum of bad weather.
Out of all this shit, I'd take a blizzard before I'll take earthquakes or hurricanes or.
Yeah, no.
Me too.
And don't get me wrong. I did not like the hurricane thing, but I definitely did not like the blizzard experience either, because, like, for example, was in my parents' house. I don't even know what year it was, 2010, 11, I don't fucking know. But we had like massive, crazy snow. This was one of those years where every weekend we got like 6 to 10 inches of snow. And there was one occurrence where a tree, my parents lived on a horseshoe shaped street, and they lived in the center of the horseshoe, and a tree came down in front of the driveway, and like
Damn.
damaged part of the entrance to the driveway and laid across the street. Our asses was stuck in the house, couldn't go nowhere. And the power was out.
But wait, there's more.
And the generator, they had one of those commercial industrial generators that was like sitting on its own concrete slab. That shit went out. That sucked. That sucked. Couldn't leave the property, didn't have power, nothing. It was fucking cold. Okay? That sucked.
Yeah.
I prepare starting September, the end of August, beginning of September for the winter. Bottled waters, extra toilet paper, all that shit.
So funny. As I say this, my
Non-perishable.
phone starts ringing. National Weather Service flood warning in Philly.
There you
Yeah. So
But
There you go.
I do have one more show that I watched that I do want to talk about because I'm super into it and waiting for the next episode to release. And that's 9 Perfect Strangers with Melissa McCarthy, Nicole Kidman,
Oh my God.
and some other actors.
Yes. Yes. That is
Welcome,
okay. I
welcome
don't even know what to
Jerusalem.
say about that show. That's good. That's really good.
It's different. It's not a show that I would have expected to see Melissa McCarthy in, but yeah, I'm actually into it. So basically, 9 Perfect Strangers is about this spa, this place where everyone goes to receive massages and do normal spa stuff. But Nicole Kidman is some kind of crazy
Guru.
Russian lady that, really has some sort of like scientific, I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing all these crazy things and putting them in these scenarios, like hothead ex athlete with this, guy that has guilt because he won $22 million in the lottery and didn't earn it. And then Melissa McCarthy, who's a flopping writer, and yeah, so it's interesting. And then this family that the son, they have a daughter and a son, twins, and the son committed suicide. So they're there, all fucked up because the dad tries to pretend like nothing happened. The wife is all fucked up, and the daughter's like lost. So yeah, it's an interesting show.
And that's Hulu, y'all. That's Hulu. Okay, check that out.
Hulu.
But yeah,
Yes,
it's good. It's very good. And you know what it initially reminded me of is on HBO, is that, what is it, the Lotus Flower Hotel, or there's some show on HBO that it initially kind of reminded me of. And then if you're watching Hulu also has Fantasy Island, their new reinvented Fantasy Island, which
I thought that was
anyway.
the movie. So apparently there's a show as well.
Right.
There's Fantasy Island, and it is literally designed to be a continuation of the original Fantasy Island because the person who runs it is a woman, and she's Rourke's daughter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
because apparently we've run out of ideas for TV shows.
Yes,
Jesus
we're recycling.
Christ.
Yes, we are.
Remakes.
That's like
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
remaking
And
or
like I
recycling
said,
anything good.
the 9 Perfect Strangers immediately reminded me of this other show on HBO. And I watched a couple of episodes of the one on HBO. So I'm just like, because here's my thing. These things are all coming out at the same time. Who the hell is leaking the ideas? Because there's no reason for there to be two shows that are almost identical in concept out at the exact same time. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Who knows? But tonight's topic is
we have a topic
back to
tonight?
school.
Yeah.
We do. Back to school and education. Hello. This is our topic, Jay. This is our topic. Jay is definitely on one. But I want to start it off with Lean on Me. I freaking love that movie. What's his name? Mr. What is
Lean on
when they
me
go to
when you're not
lock the doors and
strong.
they're like,
I'll be
Mr.
your
Clark,
friend.
I'll help you carry on.
Lean
Yeah,
on
all of
me.
that.
Morgan Freeman movies. I love Lean on Me. But go ahead. I thought we were singing.
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Kumbaya. Kumbaya.
Listen,
God.
Jason wants to see Sam Elliott. He's in here.
No,
every message is Sam Elliott.
I'm gonna make him wait for it.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry, Sam will make an appearance.
Okay, all right. So
If you want to
see, get a Jason Momoa one too.
If you want to see
Once
Sam
he does a good
Elliott
movie.
real quick, you can tip the donation button on EXXXOTICA.
there you go. There you go.
PayPal.
I like that. I like that.
You know what's funny? I don't even have that thing up there anymore.
I know.
There you go.
Well,
There you go.
There you go.
There it is.
Venmo and PayPal.
Hit that shit up.
If you
yo.
want things done like on a hot second, there's the way you get it.
I would do some dirty
There it
things
is.
for enough PayPal money with Sam Elliott.
Dirty things like this.
Oh,
Yes, exactly.
okay.
You disgusting.
And on that
Go on.
note, And on that note, I'm going ahead and give you my selection for school, back to school, education, whatever the hell. And so let me first say this. I didn't really know how to pick what I wanted to pick. So I just picked whatever the fuck I wanted to. And my first selection is Bring It On with Gabrielle Union and Kristen Dunst. Is that
She's
her last
hot.
name?
Yep.
Gabrielle
And-
Union
Yeah.
is hot. I love her.
Okay. So I had to pick that because even though it's not so school or education focused, it is very school oriented in terms of the two different schools from the two different parts of town. And you know, yes, there's this cheerleading component, right? That creates this rivalry, but you know, on a deeper level, you've got the privileged school kids versus the underprivileged school kids, and there's this difference in terms of how each organization functions, and that's like a real thing in school. Like that's a real schools like the one that Gabrielle Union represents do oftentimes have the better talent, but don't have the finances to compete on the level that Kirsten Dunst's school does. And so it's, I don't know, this is interesting. On top of the fact that I just got a big kick out of the cheerleading. I mean, I don't know about anybody else here, but I have watched cheerleading competitions on ESPN. I love that shit.
Me too.
I
I've been to them.
Yeah, I love it. Plus, I was a cheerleader in high school, so.
I wasn't a cheerleader, but actually some unknown facts is that the person who helped me organize BBW Fan Fest was actually a big time cheer competition. He does all the back end stuff for the cheer competition, so that's why we were, you know, able to put together Fan Fest like we were. And that's what I learned about what we were talking about earlier, food attritions and hotel attritions and, you know, all that kind of stuff when you're doing conventions and big events at hotels.
Oh,
So
don't remind me.
I had to go to some cheer competitions. And let me tell you, if you've seen Dance Moms, cheer competitions is like Dance Moms times 100.
Yeah. There was I can't think of what the name of the show was, but there was another show. I don't remember if they were specifically,
wasn't it?
I was going to say, I don't remember if it was specifically cheerleaders or if it was dance, or if it was some combination of both. But oh my God, it was crazy. I can't think of the name of the show, but it was crazy. I mean, it is so super intense. And I remember being grateful for the fact that I had only done 2 years of it, because I didn't think I could have handled the lunacy of it all.
Listen, normal parents are horrible people. Dance parents can only be that much worse.
Oh, and they are. They are.
It's like horse
it's like,
people.
It's like the kids that are Olympic or hopefuls that we talked about this before, like how they go through all this rigorous training. So winning is so important because what else are they going to do after they've trained 10 years to be the best
Right.
gymnast on the face of the planet? So if they come in like 12th, it's like, oh, well, now what the hell am I supposed to do if I'm not really that good? Because you got to know that's a huge ego kill. So with cheering, it's the same concept, except, just with cheering. And it's like,
Yeah.
the parents teach the kids to be ultra competitive, and then not only do they become competitive, but they're also boosting them up to be like super egotistical, because what's the best way to train a winner but to make them think that they're invincible, which to some degree I agree, but at some point, you got to teach them to be humble people at the same
Realistic.
time. So
Yeah.
and then the parents are just as
Crazy.
chaotic,
They're crazy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Or sometimes do you feel like the parents are trying to live in the kids' shoes, like trying to
Absolutely.
right? So
Absolutely.
for sure, they're definitely living vicariously through their children.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never forced mine to do anything. I just was like, hey, whatever you want to do, just let me know. I'll be there.
Right. Exactly. So anyway,
moving along. Desiree,
what you got,
what's your
Desiree?
back to school pick? Yeah, what you got?
What about Clueless? I don't care what my teachers say. I want to be a supermodel, and everyone is gonna dress like me. Wait and see, 'cause I'm a supermodel.
Oh my god, I love it.
I don't know why when I saw it on the list, I was like, I am pretty 99% sure Desiree is gonna pick that one.
It's on my list too. It's on my list too.
It was on mine too. I'm not gonna lie.
So once again, Gabrielle Union. But going ahead, Desiree, that's your pick. You talk about it. I won't. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love it because it's got Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash, and
that's who it was. Sorry, Stacey Dash, not Gabrielle Union. I'm thinking of
and R.I.P. Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Such a classic. My favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the guy
I could like
Scrubs. What's his name?
Yep.
I don't remember his name.
But yeah, I
Donald.
think,
is it Donald something?
Donald Faison.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Clueless was one of those movies. Like when you watched it, you're like, oh, okay, and then you get to the end of the movie and you're like, oh my god, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's on my favorite list forever.
It's one of those teeny bopper movies that I always watch, and I get like, I feel kind of guilty about it. Like, how am I so like older and I'm watching like 13 going on 30? I love that movie. But Clueless falls in that pocket of movies that you're like, should I be watching this? Like,
right?
Isn't this like kind of out of my? But it's a classic from when I was younger. Yeah. So yeah, I like Clueless. Good.
That's a cute movie.
Yeah, it's definitely. And I follow Alicia Silverstone on TikTok, and she's funny.
Wait, isn't she? She's crazy. She's crazy though, right? Like, isn't she like an anti-vaxxing, like anti-everything?
Yeah.
Fucking.
Really?
I'm over that shit. Yeah. Like, you know what? I'm sorry. That baseline can't fucking deal with your ass anymore. I'm over it. Like, we're done with this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I tell you?
Didn't she like not bathe or something for like a month? Or like she does like some weird shit. Like
she's in the same boat with what's her face, Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they have too much time on their hands.
Go ahead, tell us something, Desiree.
Okay, so my aunt. She was like against the vaccine, but she got it.
Good for her.
Good for Auntie. Yes.
Good for her.
I'm glad,
It's because you're not even. I don't take the flu vaccine or the flu shot every year. I don't like a lot of that shit. I don't like medicine. But at the end of the day, you take it because not just for you, but for everybody else around you. You take it for the team. So
yeah.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah, my parents just got their booster.
Oh, their booster.
They just got it the other day. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they were amongst that group that had, that got that got the shot initially, because you're supposed to have 8 months under your belt before getting the booster shot. So my parents qualified.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple of friends in Florida that have gotten it. So
I have another quick question. What do you guys think about the whole passport thing, the vaccine passport? Yay or nay?
they've been doing it forever. I don't understand why all of a sudden this vaccine means anything different. You got to have all your shots to go to fucking school. You got to go have all your shots to go out of the country. You got to have all your shots to go do all this shit. Why all of a sudden is this one vaccine, which by the way is now FDA approved, is going to be the different deal. The running joke is like, you know, they literally, when I brought my kid to kindergarten for the first time, you have to have like a list of like a dozen fucking shots. You know what I mean? And or else they don't go to school. So this whole like passport thing, it's a fictitious like pie in the sky, made up imaginary thing that people want to make it sound like you got to like, you know, carry this like thing around. Or the even better, the one that I saw on Facebook yesterday, which was a picture of a Holocaust survivor with with numbers on their forearm. And then the next one was like a picture of like somebody having to show their vaccine card. They're like, can't you see where this is going? I'm like, no, bitch, I can't see where this is going. That makes no fucking sense. It's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. Like, I don't know, man. I'm all for freedom. Exotica is, you know, First Amendment all day long. But at the end of the day, like, come on, man. A little bit of common sense here. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's crazy because I'm like, you're argumentative for the sake of being argumentative. Like, because, you know, again, to your point, your kids have to be vaccinated to go to school. You have to have a document that shows when all the vaccinations occurred. Depending upon your travels and what country you're going to, you have to take a vaccine that you would normally not have to have. But if you're going to travel to this place, you got to get these shots in order to do it. So we're just being flat out plumb dumb. Just dumb.
Not even that. It's not even just the U.S. that is requiring it. It is the U.S. that is telling everyone that if you're going to go to these other countries require, especially Americans, to be vaccinated, period. So these things that are being put in place are being put in place because it's a global pandemic, not just the U.S. And here's what I say. I've been fully vaccinated just before this. I'm fully vaccinated now. And everyone I know was vaccinated, as you know, when we came up in a time where you had to be vaccinated and we all survived. We're still here. True. So it's like, you know, obviously there's a lot of fear mongering going on and they're trying to like separate people. This is a reason for us to argue.
It's getting insane though. There literally, I don't know if you guys saw, and not to get crazy about this, but like there was a politician from North Carolina yesterday that basically gave, you know, during a press conference was like, you know, I don't want to have to take up arms against a fellow American, but I will, you know, and you're like, we're talking Civil War now? Like, that's where we're at? Like,
crazy?
Are you fucking kidding? Like that guy 20 years ago, 10 years ago would have been ostracized from either party, would have been taken out, would have been replaced. He would have been fucking, now he's like only proving himself to be a front runner for one of the parties, you know, and it's fucking,
that's what they want.
Terrifying.
That's what they want.
Terrifying.
They want us.
It is absolutely insane.
There's a guy that came out with a song about a week ago, and he talks about how everything that's happening is all systematic to separate people amongst people and keep us all, because we are powerful in numbers, and the more you separate us, the easier it is to take us out group by group and
divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. So it's like
there are currently 48 states with election laws going into place or being voted on going into place that basically in 2022 and 2024 for a presidential election. And by the way, this North Carolina congressman was talking about how fake elections, you know, if there's another fake election, we're going to have to like have a civil war or whatever. Like, there are 48 states in this country that are attempting to not just change how people vote, but change how those votes are counted. And once they're counted, who is accountable for deciding which one of those votes count? And so what's going to happen is in states like Georgia, Casey, where you're like right in the middle of, like they're going to get their elections, and if they're not the results that they want, they're going to go back to like the whoever is now in charge of like making those decisions, and they're going to make whatever decision they want to. It's not going to be a hey, majority wins. It's not going to be, you know, electoral college here or there. It's going to be, hey, Billy Bob, the Republican, you know, assemblyman or whatever the fuck he is, attorney general, now can look at it and say, oh, you know what? Those Atlanta votes don't count. All the ones outside of Atlanta do, you know, which by the way, you know, surprisingly are all red, you know. And so we're in a time, and I don't know how this relates to back to school, but we're in a time that is fucking terrifying.
Insane.
Absolutely. It's terrifying. Like it is, I don't know, you know, forget even like global warming and fucking, you know, that shit, we're beyond, like, I mean, everything's fucked. We're all fucked. Like, I'm glad that I'm 42 years old and I, you know, only have 50 years left in me, because I don't think this country has much more than that left in it.
No, and that's why we're going to go live with Desiree.
Yep.
We're
moving to Canada.
Desiree, I hope you have room for us.
I'm going to ride a snowmobile up to Canada.
Come on up. Come on up.
Get our compound ready. But we're going to go into our next back to school selection. Thank
God.
I'm going to pick Dangerous Minds. I absolutely love this movie starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Dangerous Minds.
Power in the money. Money in the power.
Money in the power.
Yeah, we had Coolio at Exotica one time. It was fucking awesome.
Let me tell you about my Coolio story. So I went with my girlfriend. I went to go see a friend out there, and it was in Pensacola, Florida. Now, if you've ever been to Pensacola, Florida, there is nothing out there but a Navy base and a beach. And so we get there. I visit with my friend, and something happened, and he was in the military, so he had to leave. So literally, like, I spent like an hour with him. And he was like, I gotta go, emergency. And so he took off, and he had paid for us to come up there for the whole weekend. So we're like, well, shit, what the hell are we supposed to do now? And so we go to the hotel lobby, and we're like, what is there to go on? Like, what is there to do in Pensacola, Florida? And they're like, oh, it's the Bushwhacker Festival. So we're like, the what? So we go to this, they're like, it's right up the street at the beach, blah, blah, blah. We get there, and we're walking in the sand, and it's like, you know, just 7-8 o'clock. So it just got dark, and it's like pretty cool. People are in the water and dancing, and we're hearing Coolio, right? We're hearing Gangster's Paradise. And I'm like, oh,
okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, God, that sounds like it's live. You know, like I don't realize he's actually on stage. We're walking to the stage, but we don't know. So we're walking, and I'm like, God, you know, this is, I've been spinning all my life. We get to the bar, and I'm like, I'm looking at the stage, like, but the way that it was set up, like the bar was kind of like on the side, so you couldn't tell it was actually the stage. I thought, you know, whatever. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Coolio. So we're sitting at the bar. He comes over there when he gets done with his act or whatever, and he's just like at the bar, and I'm just like, oh my God, we're at the Bushwhacker Festival, and we just watched Coolio live, and he's at the bar right now. So we didn't get any close or anything, so I didn't get to actually like meet him face to face, but it was pretty cool. He was just over there chilling, like, you know, give me a beer or whatever, and I was like, okay, cool, go Bushwhacker Festival. But anyways,
he's a cool dude. I kicked it with him in Jersey for a bit before his performance, and he all those guys have such fun stories of like back in the day. I mean, old, you know, 80s, 90s hip hop, man. Oh, loved it.
My girlfriend.
That was like the second album. The second album that I bought. The first one was, remember Gillette when she sang the Short Man?
Don't need no short man.
Don't want no short man.
Yeah. So that was the first album, like, CD I've ever purchased, and then the Coolio was the second one I ever purchased. Yep.
Nice. Nice.
I would have been fangirling over Coolio because I loved his music.
Yeah, my girlfriend used to work at the record label that he was at, and she used to do a lot of stuff for him, like set up all his like rooms when he would go travel and do shows or whatever. And she was like, he's one fucking hilarious guy. Like, he's just super chill, super cool, and he's just funny. He's just real funny. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But anyways, Dangerous Minds. I love that fucking movie. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, and I like the story behind, you know, Dangerous Minds is a school in the hood, and it's got gang violence and, a girl that gets pregnant and, Michelle Pfeiffer is that teacher that wants to save all her students and it gets dangerous. So, good movie. Go ahead, Casey.
So
are you here?
I have on my
goodness
list
me.
10 things I hate about you. Oh my God, I forget what girlfriend is it. Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles
Yeah.
and Heath Ledger.
Love this movie. Love this movie. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when she goes to that house party and she gets up on the dining room table, all white girl wasted, and starts dancing to the Biggie song and clunks her head on the chandelier and basically knocks herself out, but love that movie. Love
Epic
it.
movie.
Yeah, that's a classic. I love that movie too.
Okay, I'll go with Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams, Tina Fey, and Tim Meadows. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah. Of course. How can you not remember something they turned into
The
a
Burn
Broadway show?
Wait, which one was it?
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Oh, that's a famous one.
Yeah.
But every school has a group of fucking bullies,
girls.
like these girls, the mean girls.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sucks.
I remember.
Me too.
Anywho.
Don't be
All right,
don't
Carrie.
be mean, Casey. Don't be mean.
I was not a mean girl, believe it or not. I was not a mean girl. I actually got harassed by the mean girls.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But my pick is Back to School. This is the 80s movie with Rodney Dangerfield.
All right.
Yeah. He has to go back to school. He's like 60 years old, 50, 60 years old. And has to go back to school. And Rodney Dangerfield.
What was the reason he had to
hilarious.
go back? I can't remember now.
Um,
There was a very specific reason he had to go back to school.
I don't remember, to be honest. Does anybody remember? Alex, come on. Axel, where's our people?
But yeah, Rodney Dangerfield was a different kind of comedian.
Yeah, he was very blunt, like, and inappropriate.
Ron, dude, it's his shtick, man. Like that's most comedians nowadays don't have a shtick. Like
no,
Gilbert Godfrey, shtick. Like you don't have those guys anymore today. You know what I mean? Like Rodney Dangerfield was a shtick. Like his whole thing was like crazy guy. Like, I mean, comedians don't. By the way, speaking of comedians, Joe Rogan has just tested positive for COVID. And he has said that he is on a cocktail of unproven treatments, including dewormer, cow dewormer, like the Invectin or whatever that people are taking. The guy won't take a vaccination because he's afraid of what's in it. So now he's taking fucking
he's gonna deworm
cow dewormer.
instead.
Yeah, that's a thing now in this country. People are actually overdosing from cow dewormer.
Oh, Lord. The plot centers on a wealthy but uneducated father, Dangerfield, who goes to college to show solidarity with his discouraged son, Jason Gordon, and learns that he cannot buy an education or happiness. So he just went back to help his son not feel like he was going to be in college by himself. So, yeah.
Can I just for a second, the Joe Rogan thing? Like, I totally dig Joe Rogan, but the fuck, man?
Seriously.
Dewormer? Really?
Do you think it's for publicity?
No, I think he just gets up and he just
talks.
talks.
A lot of things that are happening.
Yeah, I think he just talks shit. Like, I think he's just a shit talking fucking moron.
He's probably vaccinated.
He's a really smart guy, but he just I also think that, listen, when people broadcast what you say 24 hours a day, all the time, you're going to say some dumb shit. And I think that his whole thing is that he just sticks with whatever he says, and he goes. Like there is no like apology or change of mind. Like he just kind of is like, he says shit and then he's like, oh, maybe that was dumb, but whatever, I'll double down on it. Like, you know,
or he
versus
says shit to be like, oh, let's see how far they take this shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's just say this because they're gonna run with this and whatever.
Wow.
Like I said, like
anyway.
Kim Kardashian dressing in a white wedding dress at Kanye's concert, like publicity. This whole divorce and not divorced, and like I'm just so tired of like people using, like people's like I can't even say it. I'm so that shit frustrates me.
Anywho,
you don't even know what's authentic anymore because everything is all staged for publicity. But we know what we have now. What do we have, Casey?
We have
whose line
Pitch Perfect is my next selection. That's my next selection. What I liked about Pitch Perfect is just hearing them riff. I didn't like the choreographed competition performances because I thought those shits were corny as fuck. But like in those moments where they had their little their little say side competitions, and it was cool to hear them reconstruct songs that well, and in that a cappella style, and, on the spot
yeah. like you're given a like you had to talk about spaghetti,
a topic
or whatever, and then, right?
Yeah,
and then you gotta,
they gave you a topic and you had to pull out your ass a song that matched the topic, and you had to. And you basically had to compose a new version of this song, and so that's the part that I really liked a lot, because it shows a level of creativity. Now I get it; it's a movie, I get it, but it shows a level of creativity because even whoever had to compose these for the movie had to pull this creativity out of somewhere. So
it's like improv though?
In the movie, yes, there are these moments where they using that term improv, yes, they kind of get together in their little groups and they compete amongst each other, and there's say a MC for the competition, and the MC will say love song, and you've got to immediately pull up a love song and perform this with your crew, and so so what happens is like a single person will start it, and then your crew has to come in and find their place in this song, and you and it is all off the cuff, if you will. So yeah,
cool. So I'm gonna go with Easy A with Emma Stone, however you say his name, Amanda Bynes, and Dan Bird. So Easy A, I like. Me too. Epic, classic.
Yeah.
I like Emma Stone. She also played in that movie The Help.
Speaking of Emma Stone, I just got through watching Cruella.
Was it good?
I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep.
Even to be 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Casey had a delayed reaction. She was like,
yeah, I know.
I'm like,
yeah, I mean, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Is
that good? Is that bad?
But it was good. It genuinely, let me just say, I am all for an origin story. I am a sucker for an origin story. No lie. And this was the origin story for Cruella de Vil. And halfway through, not even halfway through, in the first 30 minutes, you're like, oh, man. And now all of a sudden, she's no longer this villain from 101 Dalmatians. She's this person that you feel empathy for because she has this tragic event in like the first 15 minutes of the movie, you know? So, yeah, I totally dug it. And even when she full on morphed into Cruella de Vil,
You're cheering for her.
You
You still love her.
You
Yeah,
still wanted her to be fucking Cruella de Vil. Like, you still wanted that, you know? So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, I would definitely watch. It was really good.
Where did you see it? Did you see it on Disney Plus?
Disney, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to watch it a couple months ago. I got someone's information for Disney Plus. And then they said you had to pay $29.99 to watch.
Do it now. It's free. It's free now.
Okay, well, because I tried to do that with Milan and some other stuff too, and I was just like, Milan I did watch. Well, it watched me, but yeah, Cruella, I'll go check it out because I've been wanting to see it.
Cruella
that,
Deville.
and there's another on Disney Plus that I wanted to see. I don't remember what it was, but
Anywho, it's almost time to like wrap it up.
Back to school.
I know.
Yeah. Back to
Whose
school.
line is
You're
it anyway?
so cool.
Whose line is it? Desiree just got chopped. We'll save it for next week, Desiree.
Yeah,
But
we
in
could
the
do it.
meantime-
It's cool. Pink box time. Ba-dum-bum.
By the way-
Oh, yeah.
We are 20 days away from Miami Exotica, by the way.
Oh, well, then instead of doing that, why don't we just do the... There he is.
And there is Sam.
There he is.
There is Sam. All right, so that's the date. That's the date. Right there.
Yeah, so now
Hey,
is with everything happening, Casey, is it possible that we will be seeing a Casey Carter Miami appearance?
Anything's possible.
Nice. All right, so Miami, September 17th through 19th, 3 weeks away. Man, that shit's just like fucking ripping.
Tomorrow. It's like tomorrow.
And we're ready.
why
And
did I say 21 days? I meant it's only 16 days.
it's okay. So it's almost 2 weeks away.
2
So
weeks.
then to think about this, next Tuesday marks 45 days away from Exotica, New Jersey, October 22nd through the 24th. We have 35 days once we get back from Miami to finish Edison. So that's just going to be crazy. And then right into December 3rd through 5th with Washington, D.C. So, yeah.
Which is right near me. Whoop, whoop.
Yep, this shit is just flying through. And by the way, we've kind of like we have our 2022 dates for Chicago, which are the last couple days of April next year. We're going to be adding once Miami's over with. We'll add the Miami dates. We have a new announcement coming out of a interesting new show that is kind of Exotica-ish, but not Exotica. So the Exotica world is 3Expo world is a buzz. So crazy shit.
All
Make sure
right.
you come check me out. I got a little stage show for Miami now. Whoop,
Oh
whoop.
yeah. All right, so there you go. Enough Exotica. Enough about us. Let's talk about you guys.
Yes. All right. Go ahead, Casey.
Tickets,
That's my
please. Tickets. Get your ticket.
Fingering my box.
Pink box.
That's
Then we're
my
gonna
box.
we'll put 2 boxes up at once. Then we'll take one of the boxes
2
away.
boxes.
Look at it. Just zooms
That's
in.
a lot of box. That's a lot of
Yeah.
box.
Get
There
the
you
box.
go, Desiree. Most
Hit the
importantly,
box.
catch her at
Hit the
Twitch.
box.
Carrie.
Hit the box. Hit the box.
There you go.
Hit the box. Hit
Carrie.
the box.
Carrie.
We want the
Join us,
box.
Carrie.
Carrie.
Matt Damon.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Matt
Yeah.
Damon.
Okay.
Carrie.
Matt
Yes.
Hit the box.
Okay, there you go. All right,
It's
there you
going
go.
now.
Boom. 15 seconds, do your outro. We're ready to go.
Well,
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to our amazing Wednesday night Boob Tube show. We will have a new topic next week, so make sure you lock us 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. Same time, same bat channel, EXXXOTICA.tv. Back to you.
Right here.
I fart in your general direction.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?